Today we will talk about logical operators in Java. Before we begin talking about these operators, I want to remind you about the Boolean data type. Boolean data type is used to store true or false values. It can only store true or false values. We will be using it a lot today. So let's begin. Uh, Logical operators are used to evaluate a specific condition. So based on that condition, a true or a false value will be returned. Suppose you add 4 plus 4, you will get 8. So that's like a returning value. But in case of logic, suppose you say 5 is greater than 4. True will be returned since this logical statement is true. So that's how logical operator works. They evaluate condition and then they return a true or false value depending upon the logic and the evaluation of that logic. So it's like a bridge between logic and variables. So these are all the logical operators that you will be using. The first one is used in saying that, for example, double equals is used to evaluate whether two values or variables are equal. For example, here it is evaluating if x is equal to y or not. If they both have the same value, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Similarly, this is the not equal operator. This is the greater than operator. This is the less than operator. This is the greater than or equal to, and these are all the operators which are performing all these logical operations on these two variables x and y. So we have some more operators like the AND operator and the OR operator. We will let's see all the details about this now in our IDE. So first we need to create a Boolean data type, Boolean variable. So it's similar to any variable. For example, for first you must declare its data type, then you should give it a name, like I will call it flag, and that's declared. So that's our data type. It will only store true or false. It will store either true or false. You can't store values like a simple string or numbers, nothing like that. Only true or false. It only takes two values, true or false. So that's the Boolean data type. So let's declare some numbers. I am setting it false by default. So let's change it. Let's give it no value for now. So let's try declaring some numbers like num1, num2. So now we have declared two integers. Let's store 5 in num1 and 4 in num2. So now as you know that 5 and 4 are stored into num1 and num2 respectively. So let's try writing a logical condition statement, sorry. So I'm gonna comment it here like if we write num1 is greater than num2, what we are saying is that num1 is greater than num2. Now it will return a result. It will return true or false depending upon the answer. So we need a variable where we can hold that answer. So just like variable can hold values, similarly it is also a value. True or false is also a value. You can think of true or false as a value, as 1 or 0. You can think of it like this since it's also a value. So let's use our variable. We have a variable which stores true or false, and it's of the Boolean data type called flag here. So it will store the result. For example, let's write num1 greater than num2. So what this statement is doing right here, it is first checking whether num1 is greater than num2. If num1 is greater than num2, it will store true into this variable. Otherwise, it will store false into this variable. Let's try printing this. So hopefully this will be a lot more clear now after printing the value of flag. So right. So as you can see, true is getting printed here. Since num1 is greater than num2, 5 is greater than 4. So why don't we try some other operator like less than operator? Now it will return false. Since 5 is not less than 4, we are telling it that 5 is less than 4, but it's returning a false value since this statement is not correct. So we can also use the not equal to operator like this. Let's run it. Now it is giving a true value since num1 is not equal to num2. So let's try the equal operator. It will compare two number and see whether they are equal or not. So let's run it. It is giving false since 5 is not equal to 4. Let's make them both 4. Let's see what gets printed now. As you can guess, now true will be printed since both of these values are equal. So these were some basic logical operator that you will be using a lot. Uh, so let's try the AND operator. Let's create three variables. Let's call the first one 1, give it 1, give it 2, and give the third one 3. So let's create an AND condition. So what I will do right here is first I will say that num1 is less than num2 and num2 num2 num1 is less than num2. So this is the AND operator. It will return a true value if both of these conditions are true. Otherwise, it will return false. So let's try running it. So as you can see, true is getting printed here since num1 is smaller than num2. Also, num1 is smaller than num2. So it will return if both of them are true, then it will be true. If either one of them is false, then it will not return true. Suppose I replace num1 with num3. Now it will give false. Yes, as you can see, it's printing false now. Since it will first evaluate num1 is less than num2. That's a true condition since 1 is less than 2. Now it will check the other condition that num3 is less than num2. So now it says that 3 is not less than 2. Therefore, it's a false statement. Since one value is false, that's why it is returning a false result. Both need to be true for the result to be true. So we can add more conditions. We can add as many conditions as we want. Like I can add num1 less than num3. Now it is comparing num1 with all three variables. I am comparing it twice. What I can do right here is write num1 here. So now let's run it. It is giving false. So that might be confusing, but let me explain. So num1 is less than num3. 1 is less than 3. That's true. Num1 1 is less than 2. That's also true. But num1 is less than num1. Now as you can see, 1 is not less than 1. They are equal to. They are equal. So what I can do, I can use another operator. We can combine things like less than or equal to. Now it is adds modified our condition. Now it is telling First check whether num1 is less than or equal to. So if either it is less or equal, it will be true. So what I wanna do right now is I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. I wanna focus on this one for now. So let's try running it. So it's giving a true result. Since what it is doing, it is comparing whether num1 is less than or equal to 2. It's like an or operator. Num1 can either be less or equal to num1. So let's run another example, like change it to num3. Okay, let's run it now. So in this case, it is also true since num1 is less than num3. So less than or equal to compare checks both of these, less and equal both. So I want to show you one last thing is the or operator. So what it is doing, it is whether checking first num1 is less than num3, and then it is checking whether num1 is less than num2. So if either of these condition is true, the result will also be true. So if this one is true and this one is false, it will still be true. Since it's an OR operator, it's true as long as at least one condition is true. So let me show you right now. Let's replace num3 with num1 with num3. So let's run it now. So it's checking first that num1 is less than num3. That's true. Or num3 is less than num1. Now it's checking that num3 is less than num1. 3 is less than 1. No, that's a false statement, but it doesn't care since 1 is true. If 1 is true, it will bring true. And if both of them are true, then it will also print true. So at least one case must be true for it to be true. So that's it for Boolean data type and logical operators. So I hope you will practice more about this to learn more about logical operators and Boolean data type. These are important topics. And thank you for watching.